Mridangaya namo namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so last time we were learning Das Beherital, the 64 matra Dihai there. I'm not gonna do the second part of that this class, just to kind of break it up a little bit. We'll look at some more Lofa stuff today, some more hand practice, some new techniques, and build up our hands a little bit more in Lofa. Then we'll move forward after that in the next classes. So, pardon me. So this here, so we're practicing tere ketas and dere genas again. Tere keta, tere tere, tere keta. So what's happening here? So we've got tere keta, which is 2, and then tere tere, tere keta, which is 4. And that's equaling 6 matras, or 6 individual beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tere keta, tere tere, tere keta. Tere keta, tere tere, tere keta. So you can group 2s and 4s together that you've learned to make 6 for Lofa. Another grouping that we have here is tere keta, kene taka tere keta. So we remember we were in tiki taki tere keta, kene taki tere keta. So that's 4, tiki taki tere keta, kene taki tere keta. So now we're just adding a tere keta to the start. So now we're going tere keta, kene taka tere keta. 1 for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tere keta, kene taka tere keta. So the whole thing, or the first half of it. Tere keta, tere tere, tere keta, tere keta, kene taka tere keta. See here, low battery on my laptop, 30%, we're alright. So again, so tere keta, tere tere, tere keta, tere keta, kene taka tere keta. So let's practice that. Tere keta, tere tere, tere keta, tere keta, kene taka tere keta. Tere keta, kene taka tere keta. Tere keta, tere tere, tere keta, tere keta, kene taka tere keta. Hare Krishna. Second part of the laghu meaning closed, guru being open. So we're kind of taking a lot of the hand practice and techniques that we've learned and put them into one nice mantra here of hand practice that you can use in kirtan, and it'll sound really nice. So the first part you just learned. So the second part now is kene tete tete keta, right? Kene tere tere keta tere keta. So again, 4 and 2. Kene tere tere keta, kene tere tere keta, tere keta. 4 and 2. Second part, kene tete keta tak, which we've learned. Kene tete keta tak, tere keta. Kene tere keta tak, tere keta. Kene tere keta tak, tere keta. So kene tere tere keta, tere keta, kene tere. Wait, kene tere tere keta, tere keta, kene tere keta tak, tere keta. Kene tete tete keta, tere keta, kene tere keta tak, tere keta. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you're playing these practice mantras too, I've been even learning too from teaching you guys. You know, the more that you try to straighten your kind of hand and fingers out, like if you ever try to like really splay your hands out, you see that like the fingers come apart. And as you loosen the hand more and more, look, they come together, right? So if you want to play, it's funny too, because I didn't really put this together, but when you taught fingering, you actually want to curve the fingers, not crazy amount of curve, but enough so that the pads are still able to touch, but you actually play with quite a curved hand, and this also reduces the space that you have to move. So if your fingers are straight, they have to move a further distance, but when you curve it, you can move from the wrist, but these only move a very small distance off the mridanga. So same thing, I'm always having issues keeping my hand together, and I've realized this because I have too much tension, and Bima was teaching me this as well. There's too much tension through this part here. And my playing has become a lot better recently from practicing by just curving the fingers the same way as when I was playing, learning fingering. So now when you're practicing, I'm always talking about being loose, but try to even be loose the whole time. Keep your fingers a little bit curved to help the index finger and the middle finger to stay together. So this will help you in these hand practices. So instead of keeping a lot of tension, and I can see that finger, if I really put a lot of, it wants to kind of come apart a bit, but if you're really a little bit more loose, it's still tough, and I've watched people in slow motion too, like their hands don't really stay perfectly together, even really advanced mridanga players. But I'm definitely finding a huge benefit in my playing by keeping the hand more soft and the whole thing a little bit more curved rather than trying to play with this tension through the fingers. So the whole mantra here, tere, kete, tere, tere, tere. So we've got this looseness through the whole hand here. Tere, kete, tere, 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 keta. So you're feeling the gob kind of just from the middle knuckles upwards. You're not trying to like plaster the whole hand on there. It's more, there's a little bit of space through here, and you're caressing the gob here with just like this part from here up. Tere kete tere 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 kete tere kete kene tage tere kete kete tere tere kete tere kete kene tere kete. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Guru. Tere kete becomes Dere gena. Now, let's look at kene, take, tere, keta. Kene, take, tere, keta. Now that could become gena, tage, tere, gena. We have tere genas, and we also have dere genas in mridanga. And depending on your mantra and the level of advancement that you have, you can pick and choose how to play this. So you could play it, let me see here. Yeah, so gena, tage, tere, gena is what I'm going to teach. Gena, tage, tere, gena. Gete, tage, tere, gete, gena, tage, tere, gena. Very similar, but it can get more advanced, and you can play. So instead of the tete gena, it becomes dete gena. So gena, tage, tere, gena. So that's a little bit harder if you're playing really quickly. If you're really, really advanced, or if the kirtan, if you're an advanced player and the kirtan's a little bit slower, then you can choose to add these little things in which make it more cool. So kete take tere gena, kete take tere gena, kete take tere gena, kete take tere keta, and then gena take tere gena, kete take tere gena. So you get that extra hit. Tere gena becomes dete gena. And I'll write out that version as well. But for most of these mantras, you are playing quite quickly. There are some mantras later where we're getting quite a bit of hits on the bottom here at once, but they're a little different technique than this. But certainly as you become faster and faster, you can throw it in. It's not necessary though, because tere gena is a correct usage in Vaishnava Mridanga playing. Tere gena is shown in a lot of different mantras. So dere gena, dere 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 gena, dere gena gena tage tere gena gena tere tere gena tere gena gena tere gena tag tere keta. Dere gena dere 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 gena dere gena gena tage tere gena gena tere tere gena tere gena gena tere gena tag tere keta. So let's sing for this part. Well, let's sing for the whole thing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's try that again, because I got one hit I missed there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Once more. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I got confused there. It's quite hard teaching and playing and everything. Like, I play so much better when I'm just practicing, but when you're actually trying to do something on video and teach without editing, I don't know, somehow it becomes more difficult. But yeah, so we'll go through this once more. So tere keta tere 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 keta tere keta kene take tere keta kene tere tere keta tere keta kene tere keta ta tere gena tere 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 gena tere gena gena take tere gena gena tere tere gena tere gena gena tere gena. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then you can obviously use this quicker and practice it more and more so that it goes faster. So you can practice it up to different speeds. Use it at the Hare Rama part. You could play this whole thing through in double speed. Guru and laghu just as a little decoration. There wouldn't be like a D high or anything. Or if it's growing and you want to, you know, a lot of people play different mantras and the singer's singing a little bit more all-ups and extended versions and the kirtan's kind of building, then you can just use this as like a hand practice that will speed up the kirtan to a certain point until you want to switch to a different mantra. So that's cool. So we'll go through it once more. That's the laghu, guru. Where are we? tere keta, tere 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 gete, tere gete kene take, tere gete kene tere gete, tere gete kene tere gete tak, tere gete. Dere gene, dere 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 gene, dere gene kene take, dere gene kene tere gete tak, tere gete. So that's one. I've been practicing this for a while now, but I have written most of these mantras, so they are pretty fresh, and I can play them nicely in practice, but when I'm pushed on camera here, I don't do as well as I could. But the whole point of these videos is to teach you guys how to play them, and I hope that you guys all become far more proficient at all of it than I am. So the next mantra, so let's just go through this too. So tere kete, tere 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 kete. Let's see. So Laya Catur, everything's in twos. Tere, keta, tere tere. Bol Catur, the way it's set out, tere keta, tere 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 keta, tere kete kene, same thing. Catur, pretty straightforward. Everything's 4/4 the way it's grouped. Laya Catur, Bol Catur. So next one, this is fun, totally different technique here. So again, we have dere, dere, dere. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the Laya Catur here is Caturs again, dere, dere, dere. We're not going above that. 2s, 4s. Bol Catur is Tisra. We're actually playing in forms of 6 here. So we're going dere, 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 gete, naka, 6. Gena, tere, dere, tere, kete, naka, 6. So we're playing Lofa tall in groups of 6 to match the tall, or to match the amount of mantras. 6 in the tall Lofa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dere, 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 gete, naka. So it's not like 2 sections of 3, it's actually just a full section of 6, and helps you to practice your hand and to play in a different way here, where you're not stuck in dere, dere, gena 3 or dere, 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 gena 4. Now we're going actually 4 deres in a row and then adding on 2 things at the end to make 6, which is a different technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you're going to learn naka and te. Te is 3 fingers here. So normally it would be dere, gena. Now this is a very special technique. If you're going into naks, naka is when you're playing this special sound up here on the karatala, which is this piece of skin here. So tas are here, tinis, everything's on the gob. Tere, ketas are on the gob. There's one special hit, and you don't hit right on the skin, the karatala, and you don't hit right up here on the chakra. You actually hit in between in the crease, and your fingers are allowed to kind of move up a little bit on it. It's not like directly stuck there. It's a little bit of a fluid motion. So, and these 2 fingers, now in tabla they play on the ring finger, but because we're always playing 1 and 3 fingers, if you're playing on the ring, then you lose this ability of a pendulum between your 1 finger and your 3 fingers. So it's not correct in Mridanga to play in the ring, though some people do. So the naka, this ring finger sits on the karatala, and the bottom, the middle finger, sits in between the gob and the karatala here. So this is on it. This generally sits a little bit like that, and they act as like a little springboard so that this can hit up here. See that? Now if you just come at it straight like this, you don't get a lot of sound or power. So again, this tere keta teaches twisting of the wrist. So we've got your fingers here, and this one, so it kind of looks like this in terms of like a mudra, hand mudra. And the pinky doesn't really do anything. But now, the way you've been teaching this kene, take, tete, keta. So we've been learning to open this. So this teaches you fingering as well, because now you're having to open the wrist in order to get this power. So if you open the wrist and keep this mudra, you're able to make this sound. See this opening? Much different from kind of coming at it like this or using the finger actually coming from here. You're actually using this same loose, and it's loose. The finger doesn't even, it kind of almost slides up a little bit. It doesn't stick right there because you're having to play at fast speeds, and you obviously don't want your momentum to stop. So the momentum in mridanga is always meant to be conserved so that you're not using a lot of energy. So once you have a certain momentum and energy input into your wrist, you don't want to, so when you're playing things like tuck and stuff, it really stops the energy, so it's difficult. Then your next hits, you have to regenerate the energy again. So you don't want to be too rigid with this nut, trying to really stick it there, else you're going to be playing like a robot. You really need to be loose. So when you're going dere, gena, that's dere, gena. Now, because you need to come into this mudra, these three fingers now become your tere, ke. They become your ta now. But it's not really a ta, it's a 3-finger te. So look, tere, keta, tere, kete. See this? Tere, keta, tere, kete. So it becomes tere, kete, tere, kete. Now it doesn't really work if you're trying to play tere, kete constantly, but if you're coming into a naka, it's the only way to get the proper mudra. If you try to play tere, keta, it's your hands here, you have to move, it doesn't work, and it's not quick. So the new technique now for this when you want to play a naka is tere, kete, naka. Tere, kete, naka. Tere, kete, naka. Tere, kete, naka. Then you form this mudra, see, here, in between, finger up here. And it all starts from being with the te. Tere, kete, tere, kete. And there's a little bit, we're not able to open a hand a lot here, but the impetus is there of that movement, and you're very loose in order to create a fast, hard naka sound, because you need to be able to produce a lot of sound, but it's because you're able to kind of snap your wrist and your finger like a whip. Tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka. See, these fingers are coming from the te into this mudra, tere, kete, and they slide. But they're not, you don't want to make a sliding sound, but they come. This doesn't make a whole lot of impact on the mantra itself. It's really just a filler in terms of allowing your hand to come into the mudra, and a filler in terms of filling that one space of time. So it's not like tere, keta, where it has a lot of power. This is tere. You don't really hear it. The naka is what has the power at the end of the mantra here. So let's practice this. Tere, keta, naka, tere, keta, naka. Tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka. And see, the naka is quite high up on the mridanga. We're not playing down here, because then again, your whole technique is messed up, you know. So you're at the top of the mridanga, and you're keeping there so that you still have this thumb in the right position, technically, you know. So now, traditional mridanga playing and advanced mridanga playing, and a lot of people are like da, dene, na, dene, dene, na. But it's really there's these smoothing beats, that come into play, and Bhima really emphasized this as well in his teachings, that there needs to be a smoothness and again a conservation of energy. And when you're playing da de de na de de de, it's very rigid and it doesn't conserve your momentum as much as going da de de naka de 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 naka. So naka is usually accompanied by a ka or a ke or a ga. Now let me see, da de de naka. So that if you're playing in guru, the naka becomes like an open ge, and if you're in your laghu, then it becomes a closed ke. But you're always smoothing out with that extra hit. So we have tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka, tere, kete, naka, dere, gena, naka, tere, kete, naka, dere, gena, naka, tere, gena, naka, dere, gena, naka, tere, 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 gena. Now without that, it sounds like this: tere, gena, naka, 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 tere, gena, tere, gena, naka, tere, gena, naka, tere, gena, naka, tere, gena, naka, tere, gena, naka. So it's a lot more intense on the bottom end there if you're playing the nakas. But again, as you get better, they just really take your kind of mridanga playing to the next level. So what is the mantra here? Let's see. So we've got, where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you can see. So dere, 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 gete, naka. 4 deres is 4. Gete, naka is 2. But we're just looking at it as a piece of 6 here, really. But even if you broke it up into dere, dere, we don't really play dere, dere, dere. So that's why it's better to look at it in terms of, there is a dere, gete, naka, but dere, 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 I don't know. It's better to look at it as the full 6 here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Naka. Dere, 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 gete, naka. Now, to make things even more complex, because this is all about hand practice as much as kirtan, but right now we're really practicing on hand practice. So hand practice is generally, more difficult, or you try to make it more difficult so that you get ready for all of the stresses and strains of kirtan. So we got dere, 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 gete, naka, gene, tere, 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 gete, naka. So you're going right from the naka to another ge, which is quite difficult. So let's look at this. Dere, 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 gete, naka, gene, tere, 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 gete, naka, tere, 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 gete, naka, gene, tere, 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 gete, naka. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I've decided to write this. I could have this all guru on the first part and all laghu in the second part, but it technically is, because we have the different where you're going gena, tere, tere. So it's usually like that. So we're combining the power of the dere, dere, dere. We're getting the boom, 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 and then lightening up a little bit on the second part. Gena, tere, 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 gena. We only have one hit, but it's still a guru mantra because of how it's designed. Then the second part is all teres for a pure laghu. Tere, 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 geta, naka, kene, tere, 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 geta. So you can practice each one and use them in kirtan too. You could just play like tere, 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 geta, naka, tere, 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 geta, naka. Or you could play gena, tere, 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 like gena, tere, 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 geta, naka, gena, tere, 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 geta, naka. You can play each piece too, or combine just the first and, the first two or the last two, or however you want. But it's nice to play it as a complete one because it really stresses from the naka to the ge again. Speed your hand up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Dere 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 gena naka gena dere 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 gena naka dere 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 gena naka gena dere dere dere. Let's see here. Dere 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 gena naka gena. So it's quite a bit more challenging on both ends of the mridanga here. I would practice it just slowly, building up in speed, and just sing into it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and we'll do one last one today for fun. So let's see here. Laya Jati. This is mixed Chatur and Kan, so 4s and 5s. Bol Jati is Tisser and Chatur mixed. So we've got mixed on both, which means it's going to be obviously a little bit more advanced, although it is a kind of a simple mantra. This mantra is now tying in, so I've written a bunch of mantras now that connect to the 64 mantra Dihai that we did in Das Behar. Now we're looking at Lofa, and I like to connect all the mantras so people can see that yes, you can use them across the board. So the last mantra that we were looking at was this Gherge, 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 Gherge. So now you're going to see how to practice this in Lofa just a little bit. There's more mantras to come, but this one's just kind of playing off, going from single speed to double speed and using a little Gherge, Gherge. So Dere, Dere, gena. So we have 3. That's the Tisra bowl. Dere, Dere, gena. And then Gherge, Gherge. The Gherge is a kan that has 5 hits. Tete, tete, kete, kere, Tisra and Chatur. Yeah. Okay. I'll write all this out so you understand the Laya Jati and the Bol Jati. Dere, dere, gena. And then Gherge, Gherge. Right? Now what's Gherge, Gherge? Gena, and again, again, and then again. Hare Krishna, and then you go tere, tere, keta, kene. So look at on the fingers here. Dere, dere, gena, 3. Gena, tete, gena, tete, gena. So the 6 breaks across. Dere, dere, gena, tete, gena, tete, gena. And that becomes Dere, dere, gena, gherge, gherge, tere, tere, kete, kere, dere, dere, gena, gherge, gherge. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And this is cool because you're just practicing your hands. It's a nice mantra. You can play it in kirtan. It's beautiful, and I've put a whole bunch together here, so you've got a whole little thing to go through. And And the important part is that you're switching between single and double speed here, which is really important to get a grasp of. Being confident in going into different speeds without losing tall, without losing the lie or the feel of the kirtan. The lie is always like, and you're able to go different speeds within it without changing it, you know? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Dere, Dere, gena, Gherge, Dere, Dere, keta, Gherge, Dere, Dere, so it's too slow. Dere, dere, gena, gena, tere, gena, gena, tere, gena, tere, tere, keta, gena, tere, gena, gena. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Faster. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's really cool mantra, and we'll show more of that later. But it's really simple. It's just combining dere, dere, gena, and then gena, tere, gena, gena, tere, gena, which would, you could go Hare Krishna. But because we're playing it in double speed, it's only taking up 3 spots. So dere, dere, gena is taking up 3, and then we're playing 6 in double speed to make 3. Right? Hare Krishna. We could go Hare Krishna. Just one gena and then a gena. Dere, dere, gena, gena, dere, gena. Right? But now we're going Gherge, Gherge in double speed. Hare Krishna. So you're fitting 2 in. So now you're learning how to fit more stuff into your mantras, as I was saying, to get more advanced. All of a sudden, you get to do more stuff within a measure of time. Hare Krishna, tere, tere, keta, Alright, and that's enough for this class. Hare Krishna.